Imagine the world from 51 to 100 AD as a wild group chat. Rome, Han China, Parthia, and the Kushans all fighting for attention. Rome's the loud admin, flexing on everyone from Britain to Parthia, while Han China is quietly building an empire on its own server. Parthia's stuck in the middle, dodging drama, and the Kushans are the new influencers, cashing in on Silk Road traffic. Alliances shift, betrayals happen, and everyone's subtweeting over trade routes and power grabs. It's a non-stop notification fest, no do not disturb, just pure ancient chaos. If you want drama, forget reality TV, just tune in to the Roman Senate, circa 69 AD. Now entertainment. Let's zoom in on Rome's messiest season, the dramatic downfall of the Julio-Claudian dynasty, a saga packed with betrayal, ambition, and scandal that would make even the wildest reality show blush. This was the end of an era, and it was anything but quiet. Emperor Claudius seemed to be holding things together, but behind palace doors, his wife Agrippina was plotting. According to ancient sources, she allegedly poisoned Claudius with a dish of mushrooms, all to clear the way for her own son Nero to seize the throne. It was a move straight out of a political thriller. Family loyalty meant nothing when power was on the line. Nero took over as the young, artsy emperor, promising a new golden age. But his reign quickly turned dark. He became infamous for his cruelty. He had his own mother killed, watched Rome burn while playing music, and then blamed the disaster on the Christians, launching brutal persecutions. The city was terrified, and Nero's reputation plummeted. As Rome smoldered, Nero built himself a lavish golden palace on the ruins, flaunting his excess while the people suffered. His extravagance and paranoia isolated him from everyone, senators, generals, and even the common people. With no allies left, Nero was forced to flee, and ultimately, he took his own life, ending the Julio-Claudian line in disgrace. What followed was total chaos. The throne was up for grabs, and 4 different men, Galba, Otho, Vitellius, and finally Vespasian, fought viciously for control in what became known as the Year of the 4 Emperors. Civil war raged, and the streets of Rome ran red as rival armies clashed. Rome was thrown into utter turmoil. Armies marched on the capital, the Senate was powerless, and the once mighty Julio-Claudian dynasty was finished. The city teetered on the edge of collapse, desperate for stability. The empire was left with a gaping power vacuum and a shattered public image. Statues were toppled, names erased, and the people wondered if Rome could ever recover from the chaos. It was the ultimate influencer cancellation. Nero's legacy was so toxic that later emperors tried to erase him from history. His name became a byword for disaster, and Rome was desperate to move on. With the Julio-Claudians gone, Rome was ready for a fresh start. The Flavian dynasty stepped in, promising to restore order and rebuild the empire's battered reputation. A new chapter was about to begin. After the chaos of Nero's downfall, and a year of emperors playing musical chairs, Vespasian steps in. No nonsense, practical, and ready to clean house. He's a career soldier, not a pampered aristocrat, and Rome is desperate for someone who can actually get things done. The empire is battered, the treasury is empty, and the people are exhausted from endless drama. Vespasian's first order of business? Restore order, fix the finances, and remind everyone that Rome is bigger than any one man's ego. He taxes everything, even public urinals, fixes the budget, and tears down Nero's golden palace to build the Colosseum for the people. Vespasian's motto: if it brings in money, it's fair game. He's not afraid to make unpopular decisions if it means Rome survives. The city gets new roads, aqueducts, and public buildings, practical improvements that outlast any emperor's ego trip. His son Titus finishes the Colosseum, throws a massive party for its grand opening, and becomes a crowd favorite. But fate isn't kind. Vesuvius erupts and buries Pompeii. A deadly plague sweeps through the empire, and Rome itself catches fire again. Titus faces crisis after crisis, but he's remembered for his compassion and generosity, even as disaster strikes. Titus dies young, and his brother Domitian takes over, paranoid, authoritarian, and demanding to be called master and god. Domitian is a control freak, obsessed with loyalty and order, and he rules with an iron fist. He builds grand monuments and keeps the army happy, but his harshness makes him plenty of enemies. Domitian's rule is efficient but brutal. He alienates the Senate, cracks down on dissent, and is eventually assassinated by his own staff in a palace conspiracy. The Flavian dynasty's story is one of power, paranoia, and the constant threat of betrayal. The Flavian dynasty ends, but Rome is more stable, at least for now. The city is rebuilt, the empire's borders are secure, and the people have a sense of normalcy after years of chaos. For a moment, it feels like Rome can breathe again. Vespasian's legacy, fiscal discipline, public works, and a much-needed reset. He proves that good leadership isn't about spectacle, it's about results. The aqueducts flow, the roads stretch for miles, and the Colosseum rises as a monument to what Rome can achieve when it pulls together. The Colosseum stands as a symbol of Rome's comeback, a place where citizens from all walks of life gather for games, celebrations, and a taste of imperial glory. It's a reminder that Rome endures, no matter who wears the crown. The empire's still turbulent, but at least someone's finally running the show. The Flavians bring a sense of order and direction, even if it comes with a heavy hand. Rome's new brand: order, spectacle, and survival. The city thrives on grand gestures and gritty determination, and the people learn to adapt to whatever comes next. The emperors may change, but the drama never stops. Power struggles, intrigue, and ambition are as Roman as togas and triumphs. The Flavians proved you don't need to be flashy, just effective. Their legacy is measured in stone, water, and the stability they brought to a battered empire. Rome's group chat is still wild, but at least someone's moderating. For now, the empire marches on, restored, resilient, and always ready for the next act. Meanwhile, Rome and Parthia are locked in a never-ending feud over Armenia, the ultimate geopolitical football. Parthian horse archers outmaneuver Roman legions with hit-and-run tactics, driving Rome nuts. After years of proxy wars, they strike a weird compromise. A Parthian prince rules Armenia, but only if crowned in Rome. Both sides claim victory, but it's really just mutual exhaustion. The rivalry drains resources and shapes foreign policy for decades. Rome can't conquer Parthia, and Parthia defines itself by resisting Rome. It's a cold war of shade, not just swords. The Euphrates becomes the ancient world's DM boundary, lots of glaring, little progress. Neither side wins, but both refuse to log off. The beef becomes legendary. Over in East Asia, the Han dynasty is thriving, focused on bureaucracy, tech, and stability, not conquest. They build up the Great Wall to keep out the Xiongnu, using both fortifications and political marriages. The civil service exam system creates a government run by scholars, not just aristocrats. General Ban Chao secures the Silk Road with a mix of diplomacy and daring raids, keeping trade flowing. The Han economy booms, science advances, and culture flourishes: paper, star maps, and poetry. While Rome builds arenas, the Han perfect governance and innovation. They're quietly powerful, playing a different game, and winning. The Han dynasty is peak big wall energy, secure, smart, and unbothered. They don't need drama to dominate. Now meet the Kushan Empire, the Silk Road's ultimate middlemen. Sitting between Rome, Parthia, and Han China, they turn their crossroads into a global marketplace. Under Kanishka the Great, the Kushans embrace trade, mint multicultural coins, and sponsor Buddhist art and missionaries. Their capital becomes a melting pot, spreading goods and ideas, especially Buddhism, across Asia. They prove influence isn't about armies, but connections. The Kushans are the Silk Road's hype house, networking, innovating, and making culture go viral. They're the glue holding the ancient world together. Time for a tech upgrade. The Codex, aka the first real book. Scrolls were clunky. Codices let you flip to any page, add bookmarks, and organize info like never before. Early Christians loved the Codex. It's portable, discreet, and perfect for spreading their message. The Codex revolutionizes reading, study, and knowledge sharing. It's the ancient world's killer app, quietly changing everything. Libraries, universities, and big ideas all start here. The Codex is the unsung hero, making information go viral before it was cool. Sometimes the biggest revolutions are the quietest. Spiritual trends are shifting. People want more than the old Roman gods. Mithraism rises, a secretive, all-male cult popular with soldiers, promising brotherhood and salvation through mysterious rituals. It's exclusive, intense, and full of secret handshakes. Think ancient Freemasons with bull slaying. Meanwhile, Christianity spreads quietly, open to everyone: men, women, rich, poor. Despite persecution, it grows along trade routes, offering hope and radical equality. The Codex helps Christians connect and organize, making their faith portable and resilient. Mithraism is edgy and elite. Christianity is inclusive and revolutionary. Both challenge the status quo, but only one will go mainstream. The spiritual app store is getting crowded. Let's shout out the MVPs of the era, the real game changers. These are the people who didn't just go with the flow, they saw chaos and turned it into opportunity. In a world where survival was never guaranteed, these legends stepped up, rewrote the rules, and left their mark on history. Vespasian, the fixer who cleaned up Rome after years of turmoil, balanced the books and built the Colosseum, giving the people both entertainment and a symbol of Roman power. He knew how to turn crisis into legacy. #money doesn't stink, and neither does smart leadership. Ban Chao, the Silk Road's master diplomat, who kept trade flowing between East and West with a mix of brains, bravery, and relentless determination. He wasn't just a negotiator, he was a connector, building bridges across continents. #Silk Road CEO, because he ran the world's first global network. Agrippina the Younger, the ultimate momager, who schemed, plotted, and maneuvered her son Nero onto the throne. She played the long game in a world dominated by men, proving that power isn't always about brute force. Toxic? Maybe. Iconic? Absolutely. #girl boss before it was cool. And let's not forget the anonymous inventor of the Codex, the unsung tech hero who revolutionized reading by turning scrolls into books. This quiet innovation made knowledge portable, shareable, and lasting. #scrolls are over. Welcome to the future of information. These legends didn't just survive, they changed the game. They saw the world not as it was, but as it could be, and they made it happen. They turned chaos into opportunity, and their moves still echo today. The roads they built, the deals they brokered, and the ideas they sparked continue to shape our world. Whether building, scheming, or inventing, they understood the assignment. They knew that history remembers the bold, the clever, and the persistent. The world was wild, but these players made history. They didn't just play the game, they changed it for everyone who came after. Sometimes the quietest innovations outlast the loudest emperors. The pen, the book, the idea, these are the things that endure when empires fall. The real legacy, ideas, connections, and the courage to rewrite the rules. That's what moves humanity forward, generation after generation. That's how you win the ancient group chat. End of story. And if you're wondering who's next to change the game, maybe it's you.